Hey, it's Lindsay, y'all. So, I am here with my baby boy, Gizmo, who is probably going to get antsy and jump off my lap at some point. But right now, he's hanging out. So, that's pretty cool. Um, so, right now, he is actually, it's just me and him this week. I know usually I've got Ellie, and I know I've talked about that before, but this week um, she's actually staying with my ex for the week. My ex hasn't had any quality time with her since the separation back in May. So it seemed like a good time for her to get some quality time. And this is Gizmo's like first alone time without one of his sisters since that separation as well. Actually, I mean, he didn't really get any alone time before the separation either, but he's getting some quality time and just getting some time with his mommy. Mwah. Um, but yeah, so what's special about this week? Is there something going on? Yeah. So probably no big surprise to you. It's Christmas this week. Yay. Um, you can tell by my enthusiasm that I fucking love Christmas. Yeah. Um, yeah, I don't like Christmas, and I will talk about that. But much like Thanksgiving, I am spending Christmas alone. So it's Christmas Eve today. Haven't done anything special. I have not been in a great headspace anyway, so I laid in bed till like 1:30, and I got up finally, and I took a shower, and I got myself dressed and went out and got me some Starbucks just to get out of the damn house for a little bit, because I'm not going to really be able to do that tomorrow unless I just want to go drive around. Um, so yeah, I did that. You're going to hit my microphone, buddy. So that is what I've done today. And so I thought I would make a video, talk a little bit about me spending Christmas alone and why I don't like the holidays. And yeah, so much like Thanksgiving, my reasons are COVID. Because, my mom really wanted me to come out for Christmas. She really wanted me to come out for Thanksgiving. And she was trying again, even this week, to get me to come out for Christmas. She said, Christmas Day is free if you want to come out. And I don't think that's a good idea. Especially because, I know my brother and my sister-in-law and my niece and my nephew are... I think they're still out doing stuff. I think they're still going to church and they're interacting with people in, maybe in ways that aren't strictly necessary right now, especially considering how high the numbers are for COVID. And, I just, even though I don't get to see them because, the kids don't know that I'm trans, and my brother and sister-in-law don't really seem to want anything to do with me right now and haven't for a little bit. So, yeah, so it would just be me and my parents anyway. And so hi, that's my microphone. Yeah. Don't mess with that. Let's just raise that up a little bit here. So, even though I'm not going to see my brother, my sister-in-law, my niece, my nephew directly, who knows? They might get something and then infect my parents, and then that passes on to me, and I really can't afford to deal with that. I don't have that luxury because I am alone, and I have dogs who need me, and I certainly don't have the vacation days to take off for being sick with COVID. So that's one reason. The other reason, again, like with Thanksgiving, things are not great with my family. They're not they're not great. I mean, we're not like, we don't hate each other, but I still haven't talked to my dad. That hasn't changed in the last month. And, I'm still dealing with some things with my mom. She's trying. I can tell she's trying now, but I'm not ready yet. Oh, stop messing with my mic. Come on, go. You go. You're done here. Shoo. Yeah, I'm not ready. And I certainly don't want our first contact back together to be a holiday. Because what if it goes bad? And then there's forever that association. And I already don't like Christmas. So it just seemed like a really bad idea. So I said no. And I know it hurts her, but I have to do what I have to do. Another thing I haven't really talked about yet, because I haven't really had the chance. I had some psych testing done recently. And they actually told me that I don't have bipolar disorder, which I thought I did. That was a misdiagnosis. And I don't have ADHD, even though I thought I might, because I have some of those kind of behaviors and tendencies. And it's not... The psychologist that I spoke to didn't feel like I had ADHD, but I also did score pretty high on some of the tests that sort of indicate it. And there is at least like one more test that we can do. He didn't expect that it'll show up much, but I think once things are safer and COVID has kind of cleared up a little bit, I may go in and do that. We were able to do the other stuff all over like telehealth. But for now, I don't have an ADHD diagnosis. As it turns out, I don't have any kind of indicators of any kind of personality disorder or things being hardwired differently from birth. What I do have is significant developmental trauma. And I now have a diagnosis of developmental trauma disorder or complex PTSD, CPTSD, which is, I think most people have heard of PTSD and they equate it to like veterans and trauma related to things like war and things like that. CPTSD is a little different in that it's still trauma. It's just a lot of it can be related to our development and really affects kind of the way we think on a day-to-day basis. Some of it is just very ingrained into our identity and our personalities. And so I've been screwed up for a really long time. And so it's hard not to throw blame on my parents a little bit. And I genuinely feel like they were doing the best that they could. And I think they thought they were doing the best that they could. But it doesn't change the fact that there's trauma. There are significant deficiencies in my early childhood development. And there is kind of a higher incidence rate of CPTSD in trans people, especially those who I think don't figure it out as early. And so we're dealing with all of these complex emotions and feelings about our identity, and we have no idea what it means. And so that screws you up a little bit. But I have a great therapist. I'm working through all that. I mean, I say that very casually. It's a lot of work. We're doing a lot of work. We have been doing a lot of work related to trauma because we kind of already knew that was a thing, but just didn't have the diagnosis. But we're going to try some new things in the new year. And I'm hopeful we'll make really good progress on that. But I've gone on a tangent, as I do, as you know I do. If you've seen many of my videos, and I even made a little script here. I made little notes. Went off script. Tis what it is. But yeah, so I guess to get back on track, I generally don't like Christmas. It is known. It has been known by people who've known me for a while. I have been called a Grinch or whatever. But yeah, I don't like Christmas. And it's not like, so I think I've mentioned here before, I'm an atheist. It's not because I'm not a Christian or that I have anything against Christian holidays or anything like that. Or even the fact that like Christmas, even though it's technically a Christian holiday, is just very ingrained in our culture. So even people who aren't Christians still celebrate it and do the gift giving and the holiday cheer and all of that stuff. I don't know exactly where it originated, my dislike of Christmas. There were times over the years that I've thought, I've been dumped a lot around this time of year, and so maybe there's negative associations from that. Maybe. I don't know. But I don't know. I guess I feel like this season is it feels very fake to me. Everybody's all like, woo, we should love each other and hug each other and sing songs and put up all these pretty decorations and yeah. I really fucking hate obligatory gift giving. And it's all like, I'm going to give you something and you're going to give me something. And so we're both spending money and fueling the capitalist hell machine for what? And like a lot of times it's just shit that you don't want. And so like, even if it is something that you do want because you told them you wanted it, just fucking buy it for yourself. Like that's what I do. Like if you're going to spend money on somebody else to get them what they want, and they're going to spend money on you to get you what you want, why don't you just buy what you want and they buy what they want? Like, why does that make you feel good? I don't get it. I don't get it. And then if somebody gets you something and you don't get them something, then you get to feel bad and they get to feel potentially like you don't love them enough or you don't care enough to reciprocate. And I just hate it. I fucking hate it. So like, I don't know, my views. Why do we need to have a season where everybody's all like lovey-lovey, love each other, peace on earth, goodwill towards men, etc.? Why can't we just be good to each other all the time? So instead of having like a season of like intense love and togetherness, why don't we just scale that back a little bit to a sustainable level and do that all year all year long? It's a thought. Because that's kind of what I try to do. Like, I know I come off as kind of a crotchety bitch sometimes, but I generally try to be a good person all year. And so I kind of take offense at there being a whole season where I'm supposed to be good, because, like, I do that anyway. And as far as the gift giving thing, like, I don't know, like, for birthdays, I don't even really like it for that as much. But it's like, okay, it's your birthday, so I'll get you something. And yeah, there's the reciprocity for when my birthday comes around or whatever. But it's not like, I guess it's so asynchronous. It's not so much of an obvious like tit for tat kind of thing as much. I mean, I guess some people probably do still think of that, I guess, a little bit, but yeah, I guess, like, to me, if you really are like, you love giving gifts, here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm not saying this because I want you to give me a gift, but I will tell you what means more to me than anything is if you are shopping, you just happen to be shopping and you come across something and you see it and it makes you think of me, and you think, wow, she would really like that, or that, I think that's something that, would be really good for her. And you buy it and you send it to me. That makes me feel amazing. I've had somebody do that to me, or not to me. So I had somebody do that for me this year, and granted, it falls around Christmas time. But I don't think it was in her intention exactly. Like, I know she was shopping for something for her, and she saw this and she thought, oh, I think Lindsay would really like that. And so she bought it and she sent it to me, and I love it. It was a necklace, not this one. I wish I had worn it for this video, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. This one was also a gift from a very dear friend. And I don't get me wrong, I don't appreciate it any less than the other one, because I know it comes from a place of love. Let me make sure it's like lined up right, because it's very pretty. Yeah. And it's very personal to the relationship I have with the person who gave it to me. And so it means a lot to me. But yeah, just generally speaking, like, don't give me gifts because you feel like you have to. Give me gifts because you want me to have them, because you thought of me, and you thought that I would enjoy it or appreciate it, or it reminded you of me and you thought I just needed to have it. That will mean the world to me. Just a thought. And I try not to shit on other people who are loving Christmas, because I know some people, it's their favorite season of the year. My ex loves Christmas, and it was always kind of a point of contention, because she was all like, I want to do Christmassy things. And I was like, I'd really rather not. And so, like many things in our marriage, it turned into one of those things where she wasn't getting her need fulfilled enough, and I was sacrificing my need to not engage in it as much. I was sacrificing my need to not engage by engaging more than I was comfortable with, and I was a little resentful about it, to be quite honest, as I'm sure she was. And that's totally fair. I think it's fair for both of us to feel that way. But it wasn't good for our relationship. But I really tried not to shit on Christmas as much as I could. I know I didn't do a great job of it all the time, but I need people to understand that it's not my thing. And so if you try to shove it down my throat, and that's like anything, if you try to shove something down my throat, I'm going to fight you on it, and I may get nasty. It's like the same thing with religion. Don't shove religion down my throat, because I'll get real shitty about it. And then I'm going to feel bad if there are other people around who were cool about their faith and their religion. And like, it really is meant to be more of a thing against that particular person. But anyway, it just, don't shove shit down my throat. That's the thing, I guess. I keep saying that, and I keep thinking that's what she said. And I have friends who would, when they watch this, will absolutely appreciate that and be like, oh, that's classic Lindsay. Yeah. Anyway, I don't like Christmas, and I'm spending it alone. And my mental health isn't great anyway right now. So, but I'm hanging in there. I got Giz. I'll have Ellie back tomorrow when we do our dog swap again. And Gizmo will go back to his other mummy. And Ellie will be back with me. And then Ellie and I will ring in the new year next week. And I mean, I'll get the rest of Christmas Day with Els tomorrow. But yeah, I'm just, as I described it to some friends, I'm just kind of passing time right now. Just trying to get through it. Sometimes that's all you can really do, especially with the bad moods and with this holiday that I don't like anyway. I'm sleeping a lot and reading a lot, watching a lot of TV and sleeping a lot more and just trying to get through it. Engaging on Facebook a lot. I joined a new Facebook group recently that I've been trying to really engage in because it relates to it's got sort of a mission that I'm kind of passionate about myself. So educating people about trans experience, that being very near and dear to my heart. So I've joined that group and try to chip in here and there in the last week or two since I joined. And actually, funny enough, reconnected with somebody that I knew like 11 years ago. She happened to be on the group. She happened to like one of my comments, and I recognized the name, and I was like, wait, is that the same? And then I looked at her profile picture, and I was like, that is her. So I sent her a message out of the blue and was like, hey, I hope this isn't weird, but, and she remembered me. She didn't recognize me when she had liked my comment because different name, very different appearance from 11 years ago. But she remembered who I was, and we talked and we caught up, and that was really good. That was last night, actually. And we talked a lot last night. It was super cool. So we reconnected, we refriended each other on Facebook, and, so yeah, I'm really excited. I always like reconnecting with people. I've reconnected with a lot of people in the last year. So it's cool to have another person add to that list. She's a really nice lady. That sounds weird to say. She's a cool gal. So I look forward to continuing to catch up with her and just, building that friendship again. So anyway, I'm rambling at this point, as I do. Regardless of what you celebrate or don't, like me, I wish you happy holidays. Genuinely. We all deserve to be happy. We all deserve to, have a fulfilling life and good times. So happy holidays. Truly. I love you guys. Like if you've taken the time to watch my videos, and even if this is just your first one, thank you. I appreciate it. Like, subscribe, follow, whatever the things are. Get the notifications if you enjoyed this. I don't have a big channel, but it's growing a little bit here and there, and I like making these videos, and I'll keep doing that. I'm sure I'll make at least one more before the year is out. So stay tuned at some point next week. Don't know what it's going to be about yet. If you have an idea, leave it in the comments, and maybe that will be what I talk about. Nobody ever takes me up on that. Anyway, as always, until next time, love and hugs.